my happy vegan bakers. I was flipping through my wonderful cookbook here that I've been flipping through all week. Whole Grain Baking by King Arthur Flour. And I came across this recipe for a bread that I thought was very interesting. It's called granola bread. It yields about 1 loaf. And it just drew my attention because I like to make my own granola, and I make my granola with flax seeds, chia seeds. I use old-fashioned oats and a lot of healthy things. It's got sunflower seeds, and I have a big batch that I made a little bit ago that needs to be used up. So I thought I would make this recipe with you guys and show you how this comes out. So these are the ingredients that you would need for it. Let me just go down the list and make sure that I have everything. So you need a cup of lukewarm water, 1/4 cup of orange juice. You need 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter or vegetable oil. So again, I'm vegan, we all know that, and a lot of my people that watch my videos are, they're not. But you can make it vegan or non-vegan, but I'm going to make it vegan. So you need 1 cup of traditional whole wheat flour, 2/3 a cup of old-fashioned rolled oats, and you got to ground them for 30 seconds in a food processor. I'm just going to use my blender. I don't have a food processor at the moment. Then you need a cup of all unbleached all-purpose flour, 1 1/4 teaspoons of salt, 3 tablespoons of packed light or dark brown sugar, 1/4 a cup of non-fat dry milk. I'm probably going to use almond milk. That's what I've been using in all my bread recipes, and it's been working out fine. So potato flakes. Instead of that, I'm going to use potato starch and ground cinnamon, which is optional, but I'll probably use it because that sounds amazing. And then 2 teaspoons of instant yeast. I'm just going to use a packet of yeast because that's 2 in like 1/4. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to try this recipe out, and I'll come back and once I have the first step, which is to combine all the ingredients and mix and knead them by hand, mixer, or bread machine until you have a soft, smooth dough. So I'm going to mix all the ingredients together, and this time I'm going to use my dough hook on my KitchenAid mixer, and that's how I'm going to mix it. Another thing I also want to mention is what it calls for flour. I'm going to probably either need more or less of the flour because the dough might either be too wet or too dry. So I'm just going to have to wait and see how the dough looks, and if I have to add more flour, I will just add in by like spoonfuls of flour until the dough comes out to be the right consistency. So I'll come back once my dough has formed into a ball and show you what that looks like. So this is the granola bread dough after it's been kneaded, and I put it in a well-oiled bowl, and I put saran wrap on top of it. And don't worry, those black little specks are just raisins because that's what I put in my granola. Okay, so I'll be back once it's baked. I'll be back once it's doubled in size. Hello everyone, I wanted to hop on here and tell you about my bread. So I made 2 different recipes. I made the gluten-free bread, the white bread, and I made the granola bread. I baked them off, and before I forgot all about doing a video. I got totally distracted and forgot to video the last part of them coming out of the oven. But they came out pretty good, and I think the recipes worked out okay. And I put them in the freezer and froze the bread so that we would have extra bread when we're in quarantine and stuff like that, or if we're in lockdown, which hasn't happened yet, but this coronavirus is wiping out the breads at the stores, so I got extra on hand. I want you all to keep up to date on my videos. I'm going to be posting more, and I'm going to have more videos out in the coming days and weeks, and my YouTube channel will be filled each day, probably with a new video of Bake with Sarah, the vegan way. And so if you want to like and subscribe to my channel, then you get all the notifications of when I'm posting and my new videos, and maybe you have the ingredients on hand while you're stuck at home and you can make your own, or you can bake along with me. So just give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and share my video, and I hope everyone has a good rest of their day. All right, thank you.